Now joined by the coach of Villanova, the new coach, Mark Ferrante, and Rob Rolle, the Defensive Player of the Year in the preseason for the CAA. Coach, I'll start with you. First off, congratulations taking over for a legend in Andy Talley, 30 years as an assistant. What's it like to have the big office now?
Well, I'm pretty excited moving forward. Coach Talley's done a great job preparing me for this position. It's something that we have talked about, and now that it is here, it's exciting and challenging at the same time. So I'm looking forward to this upcoming season.
What did you learn most, or what did Andy Talley teach you that you'll take away as a head coach moving forward?
Well, there's a number of things, and I can't really go over all of them, but one thing that Coach Talley's always preached, as long as I can remember, is make sure you do a good job recruiting good quality young men like this guy to my left. So I'm going to take that forward, and hopefully we can continue to have the success we've had recruiting good quality student athletes and good quality young men for our program.
Speaking of the guy to your left here, Rob, outstanding season last year, and now warranted CAA preseason Defensive Player of the Year. You got to address the media and some of your opponents here this morning. What does it mean to you to be recognized as preseason Defensive Player of the Year in this league?
It's an honor because, everyone that plays in the CAA, they know that this is the toughest conference to play in at our level of football. And, you know every single week that you go out to play, you're going to have to bring your A game. And you know all the other guys you're playing against have just as much talent to do the same thing you can do. So it's a heavyweight fight each week, and you know that, at any given time, it could be any given player that's going to stand out. So to be the guy that you guys picked to be, Defensive Player of the Year, it's a great honor, and I'm playing with, such talented people.
Now, obviously, Coach Talley's gone, but there's probably not much of an adjustment here. Everyone's pretty familiar with each other up on stage here today, but is there something a little different right now with this offseason with Coach Talley gone?
Not too much. There's a lot of moving parts, so I think that helped the team stick together. We knew that regardless of who the head coach was going to be, or positional coaches, strength coach, we didn't know. It didn't matter because we knew that anyone that was going to come in and take over, we're going to have to buy in. We're all working towards the same goal, so we knew that it helped everyone stick together. We got through winter workouts fine. Spring ball was really good. We picked up right where we left off at, so we know, regardless of where each coach is going to be and what position group they're coaching, we know that we're working towards the same goal, and everybody was no hiccup. So I think it did a real good, smooth transition.
Having the preseason Defensive Player of the Year certainly helps, but Villanova was the #1 defense in all of FCS a season ago. What are the keys to continue that success this year?
Well, I think that it's going to be just the maturity of our defense. We do have 7 starters back. The hardest hit through graduation was the guys up front, the defensive ends with Tano Passanio and Brian Osei. But with guys like Rob and them in our secondary, we have a lot of experience back there. Our linebacker core is pretty deep. We did lose Austin Calitro. But we do have a real solid nucleus coming back. I don't know if we can repeat what we did last year, but we have a lot of guys coming back. There's going to have to be somebody that's going to step up. Not sure who that's going to be yet, as far as the rising sophomores and juniors and maybe some incoming freshmen that will help us fill some of the voids that were left through graduation. But I know we're pretty excited to get back on the field and see what we can do in that aspect.
And 2 guys that you're going to have to look to replace this year, Rob, obviously Tano Passanio and Austin Calitro. How do you go on replacing those guys right there on the defense that led this defense the last few years?
Yeah. How do you replace someone like Tano or Austin, guys that, were bought in? But a big thing about Villanova football and our defense as a whole is we're just telling, we buy into what Villanova football is about, and we know that to go on and be successful, each guy has to do his 111. So regardless of who fills in for Tano or who fills in for Austin, we know if that guy goes in and he does his job, we'll be just fine. So, are we going to have the same production or the same, accolades as we did a year ago? Who knows? But we know that regardless each play, our job is to go do our 111th and, make sure our job is being done, and whatever success comes with it is what happens. But we can't do any more or less than, just doing our job. So regardless of who steps in at those positions, you just, fill in and pick up where everyone left off at.
And speaking of Tano, here at M&T Bank Stadium, the NFL Stadium, Baltimore Ravens, seeing him drafted by the Kansas City Chiefs, how exciting was that to see one of your players drafted? And, have you spoken with him? How's he getting ready for his first training camp?
Yeah, it's exciting, especially to see someone that you were really close with, get drafted, because when I talk to him now, I'm asking him, yo, do you realize, where you're at now? Is it finally sinking in? Because he comes back to Villanova and we might get a workout in, or, we might just go out and relax for a little bit, and, there's no change in him, there's no change in attitude, demeanor, or anything. So I'm like, do you realize, you're in the NFL now? secure. You can go, be great. So it's just cool to see that him. I talked to Brad and Austin Kudicho, and each one of his journey is a little bit different, but it's just cool to see those guys have a legitimate shot. To go do something great in the NFL.
Let's switch things over to the offensive side of the football. We have a third-year quarterback as a starter in his third year. How will that experience help Zach Bednarz?
Well, as everyone knows, if you have your returning starting quarterback coming back, that's always a good place to start. So Zach made great strides from the first year when he was kind of thrust into the role when John Robertson went down in the third game of the season against Delaware. And then the strides he made from his first year to his second year were tremendous. So if he can continue his growth as he did between year one and year two, moving into year three, we're real excited about what Zach can do for us. And he's a super competitor, not a big rah-rah guy, not a loud vocal guy on the field, but he definitely demands a lot from his teammates, and he's a real solid competitor and definitely plays with an edge. So we're excited about Zach coming back for his his third year with 2 remaining.
Yeah, and I'm sure a lot of the defenses aren't as excited as you are. He's had quite the career thus far, which included a playoff appearance a season ago. How does playing the difficult slate of the CAA week in and week out prepare you when you get to that FCS playoff level?
Well, as Rob already stated, we feel that our league, top to bottom, is the strongest league in the country at the FCS level. So week in and week out, you got to bring your game. And then, your non-league schedule, when you play a Division I opponent, last year was Pittsburgh, this year is Temple, that also helps prepare you because you're playing a level up. So by what JMU was able to do in the playoffs last year, they probably had as many close games in the regular season as they did in their playoff run, and that was similar to us when we won it in 2009. So this league more than prepares you. As long as you can get through the 8-game league schedule healthy, then it definitely makes you prepared for the grind of a postseason performance.
Well, a familiar face for Villanova fans, but now first year as head coach. Best of luck to you in your first year, and Rob, keep up the great work.
Thank you so much.
All right.